Each day we are born again. What we do today is what matters most. Epictetus. Yet, do you ever feel like your mornings slip through your fingers, leaving you rushed, stressed, and unprepared for the day? What if the ancient Stoics held the key to transforming your mornings into a powerful springboard for success? In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the demands and unpredictabilities of daily life. Yet Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control every aspect of our external environment, we have absolute power over our internal responses. By adopting a Stoic mindset each morning, we set the stage for a day lived with intention, not reaction. Armed with this understanding, let's delve into the 8 Stoic strategies that can transform your mornings from a time of stress to a moment of empowerment and preparation for the day ahead. 1. Mindful meditation. Your alarm sounds and instantly your mind is overrun with the day's tasks. It's a scenario too many of us know, beginning the day overwhelmed by what lies ahead. Stoicism introduces us to mindful meditation as a tool for reclaiming our mornings. This practice isn't about silencing our thoughts but observing them with presence, focusing on the now. It's a method to center ourselves, cultivating a calm and focused mindset to start the day. Let's engage in a brief meditation. Find a comfortable seat and take a deep breath in slowly. Then exhale, releasing tension. Focus on your breath, the air's path in and out of your body, the rise and fall of your chest. When thoughts intrude, acknowledge them without judgment and return your focus to your breath. With each exhale, let go of a worry. With each inhale, draw in peace. Continue for a short moment. Now, gently return to the room. Notice the calm you've created, a solid foundation to face the day's challenges. This short practice can dramatically shift the tone of your morning, offering a stoic calm to carry into your day. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself and your way of thinking." Let this mindful moment be your first step toward a happier, more centered start to your day. 2. Journaling for clarity. Journaling, a practice endorsed by many Stoic philosophers, can offer us similar clarity. It's about externalizing our thoughts, confronting them on paper, and starting our day with intention. Here are a few Stoic-inspired prompts to guide your morning journaling. What am I grateful for today? Reflecting on gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we possess, a fundamental Stoic principle for contentment. What is within my control today? This prompt reminds us of the Stoic dichotomy of control, helping to focus our energy on actionable areas, reducing anxiety about the uncontrollable. How can I embody Stoic virtues today? Consider how you can apply wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance in your daily interactions and decisions. What obstacles might I face today, and how can I apply Stoic principles to overcome them? This prepares you for potential challenges, turning them into opportunities for growth and learning. Start your day by journaling with these prompts for just a few minutes. You may find that it brings a newfound clarity and purpose to your mornings. Journaling isn't just about venting or daydreaming. It's a Stoic tool for self-improvement, a way to align your thoughts with your actions, and to set a clear, intentional path for the day ahead. Remember, as Epictetus said, we are not disturbed by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens to us. Let journaling be the tool that shapes these thoughts positively. 3. The discipline of cold showers. Imagine starting your day not with a jolt of caffeine, but with the invigorating rush of a cold shower. It's a practice that might send shivers down your spine at first thought, but it's deeply rooted in the Stoic philosophy of embracing discomfort to fortify the mind and body. This ancient wisdom is now echoed by modern science, with Dr. Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist at Stanford University, highlighting the myriad benefits of cold exposure. From heightened alertness and improved mood to increased resilience against stress, the cold shower is not just a test of willpower, it's a scientifically backed pathway to enhanced well-being. To weave this practice into your morning routine, start by gradually introducing cold water at the end of your shower. Even a mere 30 seconds of exposure can initiate these benefits. Focus on deep, controlled breathing to help manage the initial discomfort. This technique not only helps in adapting to the cold, but also reinforces the Stoic mindset of control over reaction. As you stand under the cold water each day, let it be a reminder of your own strength and adaptability. This daily ritual, supported by both Stoic philosophy and modern science, becomes more than just a physical challenge. It's a commitment to personal growth, to starting each day with a clear, energized mind, ready to tackle whatever lies ahead. 4. Physical exercise is a form of virtue. Imagine your morning starting not just with the alarm clock's ring, but with a promise to yourself. A commitment to embody Stoic virtues through the simple act of morning exercise. This isn't just about fitness, it's a profound exercise in mental and emotional strength, a daily affirmation of your resilience and determination. Visualize a routine that needs no gym, just the space of your living room and a few minutes. Body weight exercises like push-ups and sit-ups and squats can become a meditative practice, each movement a step toward clarity and empowerment. Or perhaps a brisk walk in the freshness of the morning air, where every step is a reflection on your place in the world and the strength within you. This strategy is rooted in the Stoic belief that the health of the body mirrors the health of the mind. Each morning's physical activity is not just preparation for the day, but a reinforcement of your inner fortress, building resilience and a calm, focused spirit ready to face whatever the day holds. Tomorrow, let your first act be this gesture of self-respect and empowerment. Let it be a testament to your commitment to growth, resilience, and the Stoic virtues of endurance and mental clarity. This is your moment to affirm that you are not just awake, but truly alive, ready to embrace the day's challenges with strength and equanimity. Your morning exercise becomes more than a routine. It's your declaration of readiness, a step towards mastering the art of living well. 5. Reading and learning. Imagine the serenity of the early morning, a time when the rest of the world is still silent, offering you a blank canvas for your thoughts and emotions. Now picture filling this canvas not with the day's worries, but with the profound wisdom of Stoic philosophy. This is the essence of incorporating reading and learning into your morning routine, a practice that can transform your entire day. Consider the impact of beginning each day not with the buzzing of your phone, but with the calm, reflective words of Marcus Aurelius or Seneca. It's like having a conversation with history's greatest minds over your morning cup of coffee. This was a game changer for someone who found themselves constantly overwhelmed by the day ahead. By dedicating the first moments of their day to reading, they discovered a source of strength and clarity that carried them through life's ups and downs. Why Stoic texts? Because they remind us of what's truly important and within our control. They teach us to greet each day with gratitude and to face our challenges with courage and wisdom. Integrating this habit can be as simple as choosing a Stoic quote or a short passage and reflecting on it for a few minutes each morning. It doesn't require hours. Just a brief moment of reflection can realign your thoughts and set a positive tone for the day. This isn't just about reading. It's about cultivating a mindset that prepares you for whatever lies ahead. It's a moment of pause, a ritual that nourishes your soul and sharpens your mind, enabling you to approach your day with a sense of purpose and tranquility. 6. The art of negative visualization. Imagine for a moment one of those days when everything seems to go wrong. The coffee spills, traffic snarls, emails pile up. Now picture someone who, amidst this chaos, finds a moment of profound peace and gratitude. How? Through the ancient Stoic practice of negative visualization. This practice might sound counterintuitive at first. Why focus on the negative? But it's not about dwelling on misfortune. Instead, it's a powerful tool for appreciating what we have. It involves envisioning life without some of the things we take for granted, our health, our home, or even a cherished relationship. This person, once overwhelmed by daily frustrations, began practicing negative visualization and discovered a surprising shift. They found themselves more present, more appreciative, and significantly less perturbed by life's minor inconveniences. Let's try a simple exercise together. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine not having something you value deeply. It could be something as simple as the comfort of your morning coffee, or as significant as the presence of a loved one. Feel that absence. Now, open your eyes. That sense of relief, that renewed appreciation for what you have. That's the gift of negative visualization. This practice teaches us not to take our blessings for granted. Instead, it encourages us to live with a deeper sense of gratitude and contentment, transforming how we experience the world around us. By regularly engaging in negative visualization, even for a minute each morning, we can cultivate a more resilient and grateful mindset, better equipped to handle whatever challenges the day may bring. 7. Setting Stoic intentions. In a world where distractions are just a click away, setting intentions for the day can be a game changer, especially when these intentions are rooted in Stoic virtues. Imagine starting your day not by checking emails or social media, but by asking yourself, what virtues do I want to embody today? This simple act can transform your entire day from reactive to proactive, from scattered to focused. Take, for example, someone who decided to set daily intentions based on the Stoic principles of wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. They began each morning by choosing one virtue to focus on. On a day dedicated to courage, they might challenge themselves to speak up in a meeting or tackle a task they'd been avoiding. By setting this intention, they found not only did their day gain more purpose, but they also became more aligned with their values and made decisions that reflected who they truly wanted to be. So how can you start setting Stoic intentions? It's simpler than you might think. Each morning, take a few moments to reflect on the Stoic virtues and decide which one you want to bring into your day. Perhaps you choose wisdom and seek to learn something new or listen more intently to others. Or maybe you choose justice, aiming to treat everyone you encounter with fairness and kindness. By setting these intentions, you create a compass for your day, guiding your actions and decisions towards personal growth and betterment. It's a practice that not only enhances your own life, but also positively impacts those around you. 8. Engaging with nature. In the fast-paced rhythm of modern life, where concrete often replaces the canopy and the glow of screens outshines the sun, we sometimes forget the healing power of the natural world. The Stoics, however, understood the profound impact of nature on the human spirit. They believed in living in harmony with the natural world, seeing it as a pathway to inner peace and wisdom. Imagine how starting your day by connecting with nature could transform your mindset and well-being. For those of us living in urban environments or leading busy lives, engaging with nature might seem challenging, but it's simpler than you might think. It can be as easy as taking a short walk in a nearby park, spending a few minutes in your garden, or even just stepping outside to breathe in the fresh morning air. If you're limited to an indoor environment, consider starting your day by tending to a houseplant or simply opening a window to let the natural light in. These acts, though small, can significantly impact your mental and emotional well-being. Engaging with nature each morning is a powerful reminder of the Stoic principle that we are part of a larger cosmos. It grounds us, reduces stress, and offers a sense of tranquility that can be hard to find in our daily routines. By making this connection a part of your morning ritual, you embrace a practice that nourishes your soul, enhances your resilience, and reminds you of the simple joy of being alive in this beautiful world. As we wrap up our journey through these 8 empowering Stoic strategies for an invigorated morning routine, remember, the wisdom of the ancients is not just historical, it's a living guide, beckoning us towards a life of purpose, resilience, and tranquility. From mindful meditation to the invigorating embrace of nature, each strategy offers a step towards mastering our mornings and, in turn, shaping our destiny. I challenge you to experiment with these practices. Start with one that resonates with you and observe the transformation in your daily life. Your morning doesn't just start your day, it sets the tone for every decision, every interaction, and every moment that follows. Share your journey with us in the comments below. Which strategy are you excited to try? Have you discovered a morning routine that aligns with Stoic principles? Your insights not only enrich our community, but also inspire others to embark on their path of self-improvement. If this guide has illuminated your morning routine, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, subscribe for more content that bridges ancient wisdom and modern life.